Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. I have some new gear to unpackage for you guys today and just show and talk about. So if you guys recall in my last EDC video, I was talking about how I'm going to be getting a 1911 magazine sheet soon. And here it is. So I got this off of an eBay seller by the name of Shadow Defense Innovations. And he's a super nice guy. We were in email contact for a while. And just really nice guy. And I really wanted to promote his business because he also makes some really nice stuff. So I've been really anxious to see his quality in person, but he also has a Facebook page, which I will put a link to in the description, so do check it out. He makes some excellent Kydex tactical gear. So without further ado, I'm just going to open it up and show you guys. To do the unboxing, I got my Yojimbo 2. Been carrying this for a little while, ever since I sold my CT0566. Make sure I'm not going to be cutting into anything. This thing's just stupid sharp. Alright. Okay, there's a note. I'm going to leave that off to the side. I don't know if you wanted me to read that on camera or not, so I'm just going to put that off to the side. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Some little Kydex goodies in here. Oh. Alright. We got some cool stuff in here, some swag. Got some stickers. That is his name, Shadow Defense Innovations. I love stickers, so that is definitely cool. A bunch of his business cards, I'm assuming. Yep. So here's his business card. Let me show you guys real quick. You can pause the video to check that out. Below is his email address and Facebook. Like I said, pause the video to check that out. Cool cards. Very cool. Very nice of him to throw that stuff in. And I see here some extra stuff that he threw in. He said he was going to do that. Very cool. Okay, so what we got here is the handmade Kydex magazine sheath. Very cool. I think this is made by Blade Tech. One of the inside the waistband loops. Very cool. I've been wanting one of these for a while. And the thing that he was emailing me about is that he said that he didn't have the spacers available for the metal belt clip. So normally you have to have spacers back there, like with your Blade Tech locks and everything. But I told him that I have a bunch of Tech locks and I have a bunch of leftover O-rings. So he said he would just send this anyway. And he also asked if I wanted to wait, and he would get the spacers in. He ordered some. He said he'd get some in if I wanted to wait. But I told him it's okay because I already had them. And then I asked if he wouldn't mind just going ahead and throwing in this little loop. So he included it for like $4, something like that. And he offered me a bunch of other stuff at a discounted price. So it's super cool. Now I can't get this thing back on there. There we go. So super nice of him to offer the extra stuff and to just be in, like I said, constant email contact with me. So I got that. I'll try that out in a second. And this is a surprise. This is really cool. I saw this on his Facebook. It is a Kydex trigger guard. So very cool. So he was asking me what pistol I had, and I was wondering why. So he said he'd throw me in some little extra goodies. So that is super, super cool of him to do that. All right, so let me just get my gun. Safety check it. There is I always carry it around in the chamber. Condition 2. Okay, so let's try out the trigger guard first. This is just something I thought was a really cool idea. Well, isn't that cool? Very secure, very snug, perfect fit. So that is very, very cool. I've never seen anybody else do a Kydex trigger guard. Now, I always store mine in my Serpa holster, but if I ever didn't want to, because sometimes I do carry this in my bag, in my everyday carry pack back in the concealed carry compartment. So when I do that, now I can have this trigger guard over there. So that is very, very cool. And then of course you have the paracord lanyard, so you can, I guess, just grab it and pull it off. There you go. Very positive tension on that. Made very well. That is really cool. I believe he sells these for about $15, I think, or $12, something like $12. Very affordable. I'm assuming you can get them in all kinds of different colors too. But But very cool. So that's something that he offers. Very, very nice. I'm definitely going to be using this. So very cool. So if you're watching, thank you very much for that little extra piece right there. That is very cool. This, I'm honestly not sure. I guess it goes here. I'm honestly not sure what that is. I guess it's a belt loop. Whoop. Yeah, I think it's like a belt loop or something. I don't know. Forgive my ignorance. But anyway, let's try out the magazine sheath. So I guess it can go in either way, or maybe just, yeah, there we go. Very cool. So, that'll be carried inside the waistband. Just pull it out and ready to use. Very positive tension on that. It's not going to fall out. I did when I shake it, but positive tension. He was telling me about how he makes these and how he makes them with positive tension because people's preferences vary so much. Some people want them really tight. Some people want them really loose. So this is kind of a medium, and it's definitely clicks in there. It's not going to like shake out and fall out or anything. So I definitely like how he made that, and he was talking about how he bevels that out for indexing. So very cool. I definitely love this system, and I'm going to be using this. Not all the time, but sometimes if I feel like I want some extra firepower, I'll carry this for the extra ammo. So very cool. I've never used one of these loops inside the waistband systems before, but definitely try that out. But super high quality stuff. I can never get this thing back on here. Hold on. There we go. Technical difficulties, guys. But let's just take a quick look at his overall quality. Very nice and clean. Smooth edges, I definitely like that. Very clean design. I love Kydex work because you can see a little bit of their personality in every piece, because everybody does Kydex a little bit different, and it's just an excellent media to work with because you can do so many things to it. It's extremely forgiving. Like he was telling me, you can just heat this up with a blow dryer, which I have a professional, I believe it's a Milwaukee heat gun, and it works great. Hold it over here for just like 2 seconds and it's ready to be remolded. So very cool. I guess you can only put it in this way. That's fine. But very cool. I really like this. I'm definitely going to be using this and trying out the different systems that it has to carry it. See which one I like best. Another thing I love about Kydex, it's so versatile. Got black rivets. All the hardware and everything was, of course, included. Very nice. No extra cost for all the hardware. But like I'm assuming that's for a belt. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'll ask him about it. I'll send him an email. But very cool stuff. Like I said, it was super nice of him to include the actual trigger guard. That is so cool. I love that. So like I said, I'm definitely going to be using that. It's super cool. Maybe it's just to put it in. Hold on. It's hard to do stuff while reaching around the camera. Maybe just to put it in from the top. I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah. I love that. That is such a cool idea to me. That's so cool. Really neat idea. So, if you guys want some custom Kydex work done, definitely contact him. Shoot him an email, or check out his Facebook, which, like I said, I will put a link to in the description below. And yeah, he has a lot of other stuff. Obviously, he makes knife sheaths. He makes a lot of other mag sheaths. He makes them for AR mags, AK mags, I believe. He makes double and single mags. And I'm assuming he can do it for just about any gun that you would want. Like I said, he makes knife sheaths. He also makes custom holsters, which I told him I'd really love to try one of his holsters out in the future, because he makes some really nice inside the waistband Kydex holsters too. So definitely check him out. Here again, here's his contact info, even though it's going to be in the description. Just want to show off, the cool business card. So yeah, very thankful to him for being so cool and being, he had a very clear line of communication. He he treated me like I was his friend and not just somebody who was giving him money. You know, he genuinely cared about my opinion and what I wanted. You know, like I said, he kept asking questions like, would you rather me do this? Would you rather me do that? You know, we carried on long conversations. Then we started talking about gun laws, my carry system, and different stuff like that. So it was very, very cool and just super nice guy to talk to. I love that. I love these small business owners that, like I said, they'll treat their customers like they're people and not just people handing them money, you know. A lot of people can take lessons. You know, Blade HQ, super company. You know, their customer service is superb. Even though they're a big company, they still act like these smaller people and these people who own smaller businesses. So I definitely respect this guy. He does great work. I love the stuff that he made. Very cool of him to add in a few extra goodies for me. That was really nice of him. He didn't have to do that. But like I said, definitely check him out. I love supporting these people who do great work. And here in the tactical community, it's such a close-knit community, and it's not something that everybody wants necessarily. It's a small group, so it's really hard for these people to get their name out. So that's why every time I get the chance, I love to buy from these people and give them shout outs and support them and tell people about them, because like I said, this is the first time I've ever seen a Kydex trigger guard like that. So you guys may have never seen anything like that before. So, but just super nice guy. Definitely go check out his Facebook and his eBay page. Yeah, like I said, I'll put a link to the description to his Facebook and probably his eBay page also. But check him out. Shoot him an email. Just check out his work. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely expect to see some of these in my EDC videos to come. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay sharp, and God bless. Sherman 614. Peace.